And go. Hi, everybody.
We're live.
Welcome to Pathfinder 2nd Edition with the Night Thorns.
Excellent. Seems we are live. Welcome everybody back to the Night Thorns session 9. It'll show up as session 8 on the YouTubes because I count session 0 as session 0 there. The last YouTube video is not up yet, mostly because Shago is a dirty scrub that forgets things and has had a busy week, but it will be up by tomorrow. On that note, we will go straight to the recap of last session, starting with Leopold.
Well, we found ourselves out in the open in rather a lot of snow, looking for a place to take shelter. Edemir went forward to scout and found a promising little cave with just a tiny little problem. And that was the extremely large frost trolls in front of it. It turns out that the map had been misread and we'd passed the inn we were supposed to be heading for. Lacking other options, we decided to go forward and kill the trolls and take shelter in the cave. And at that point, I will pass over to Mado.
We came across a couple trolls, as he said. We had passed our inn. Of course, we've been more or less riding in a almost blinding snow. We engaged the troll only to be ambushed by several werewolves and an elven archer. Cal died on the field. We head into the cave where we had a cave bear in there, which Edemir kind of befriended. I guess he's considered a grumpy bear, not beard, bear. So at that point, where we left, Odie cast did something about a lot of Eodie. Eodie passed do that, and we'll head over to Eodie.
Did you just pass it to me? Is that what happened? Yes. So we trounced through the snow attempting to find a safe place as we got horribly lost. And, well, there wasn't really a lot of tactical things we could do with this particular battle. So, of course, we ran headfirst into trolls, crabs, and werewolves. Oh my. There was arrows flying from invisible people up on the hill. Somebody we're looking for, I think, or is looking for us as well. We did kind of get our butts kicked a little bit. Crabs nearly killed our little friend we're trying to protect as she got kind of like pincered and just kind of squeezed almost to death. I got to do lots of fireball shenanigans. Well, I breathed fire down a river. That was kind of fun. I got to do some scorching ray on multiple trolls and a crab. I rolled 3 crits. 2 of them were actually good ones. One of them hit a bear. It might have been a friendly bear as well. And so, after that, let's see. I got jumped in the back by a bunch of werewolves who attempted to kill me. They did not succeed, as they found that I am much more resilient than many wizards of my level. And then we gathered up poor Calazir. She didn't realize that running into the middle of a group of trolls is how you become a pancake. So then I cast a spell to preserve her body in the hopes that maybe we can bring her back to the land of the living. And then we all snuggled up with a bear. And I'll pass it to Preacher.
Well, I think we're kind of surprised that the trolls just said, who needs a bridge, and just waded out into the river. It was like, okay, they did that. I spent quite a bit of time trying to figure out how I was going to hit them using fists or legs from the shoreline. So, yeah. Dealt with a flanking werewolf together with Ed, I think it was. Was Zara? No, Zara was. And jumped the river, came up on the back of the trolls on the bridge, but unfortunately, too late. Cal went down. I can confirm that the elf in question, the one that hired the werewolves, who screamed as I saw her, "Do you have an idea how much they cost?" and ran off. That was one of the prize bounties that we had taken on. At least judging by the description of the person. Over to Zara.
Yeah, I think the only thing that really hasn't been mentioned is more than one of us got bit by these werewolves, so I'm sure that'll end up perfectly fine and there's no danger at all involved. Hopefully the old grumpy one doesn't get grumpier than it already is. And who knew that giant crabs and trolls will eat you? Ed.
Skip, working out some technical issues.
Marisol?
Hi. So, I lost a friend last time. I took her axe to make sure that, and promised her to find her fiance. So that happened. I also protected the interestingly hard to hit wizard. So, yeah. We had some fire going to take care of the trolls. I also did a few crits last time. That was pretty cool. And other than that, most things has been said. So, yeah, I think it's back to Shogo then, isn't it?
Shion.
Yeah, but Shion can of course tell about her. Sorry.
Yeah, so we went into a battle, as usual for the group at this point, without a real plan and poor communication, which ended up in the tank dying. So have fun finding a new tank. Yeah, it was an intense battle, and now. A team member is dead, so the group has to cope with that. We'll see how they will fare.
There we are. So you've spent 2.5 days in the bear cave, pretty much being quiet, not making noise, and not bothering the grumpy one. Waiting for the blizzard to calm down, and you're finally standing outside, quite warm after having had some trouble not having shovels, getting a path back to the road that you can take your cart and horses on. But you are finally ready to move on with some more some heavier cargo than you had packed in a cloak back in the wagon there. And that is where I'm going to leave it to the players.
That was a first.
Indeed.
And unlikely to be the last.
If I do not share a coven with dire beer again during a blizzard, I'm fine with that.
Really? I thought it was very soothing.
He was very nice.
By all means, he was a kind soul, I guess.
It was a fine cave to take shelter from the blizzard in. A little smelly, but I have my own way. They make these peculiar stenches sometimes.
All I know is that I kind of want to shower.
Well, let's have a look at the layout map. Make sure that we find the next inn.
Good idea.
Yodi is in the back of the wagon, casting gentle repose once more on Kalazir's body, and he's clinking the bones of the chickens and things that he has on his staff loudly and making weird noises for no other reason than he thinks it's appropriate.
Leo shrugs. He just doesn't know any better.
I assume that's how it is where he's from.
One bit more of strangeness is not that much.
No.
Yoda, you don't have to do that.
The fox does not understand the ways of wizards.
No, but I understand the ways of primal magic.
I have never primaled anything in my life. I do not know what you mean.
Alright, carry on then.
Someday I will teach the fox about necromancy. It'll be a good look for you.
No.
Then perhaps you should go catch us mice.
Leave him be, Edemir. He has been reading Witch Doctor again.
Yodi can read?
He's a wizard. He must be able to read.
He definitely can read.
How deep is the trail at the moment?
Well, on the road, you have somewhere between 1 and 2 feet of snow. Enough that somebody's going to have to be in the front and trailblaze.
I'll begin.
I will keep driving the wagon.
I am riding up front. On my own horse for once.
How deep is the snow up on the cliff where Lise Van Horn was, Shago?
The snow there is that's exposed, unlike the road. I had a guess 4 or 5 feet.
Leo looks up at the cliff, knowing that there's a clue up there, but it's too deep to find it in.
Chances are that person will try again. And we're 2 days behind whatever she's spotting.
Yeah,
And if we really need to find her, we could always try to track her, but we should get... we should be a bit more careful in the snow. We're not equipped for this.
very much not. It would please me to know which way she went, so...
Well, which way I think we can find out.
In this, I doubt she left much of a trail. We will find her again.
Can I hunter's marker based on my knowledge now and just be on the lookout for anything that might lead us to her?
Yes.
Then I'll do that. For 28 on my lore hunting.
If it wasn't for the heavy snowfall, you're pretty certain you could have followed her. But the way it is currently, it's gonna be well, they would write songs about you if you managed to follow the tracks of an experienced wilderness scout in this weather.
I assumed as much, but I just don't want to be caught by surprise that if we suddenly cross her tracks, we we won't be surprised when we walk onto her.
The only thing you're certain of is that she hasn't been around for a while. At least a day.
Well, she hasn't come this way recently.
I did not think so. She would have to brave the blizzard, and then she would have to overcome all of us to get at our protege.
She's likely finding us a new place to meet friends.
To ambush us again, definitely. Although even she would have some issues with the weather the way it's been.
Definitely. What I'm wondering now is what the party's plan is.
Find an inn. Somewhere warm, please.
Find the road first, then find an inn.
Those two are probably pretty close connected.
True. I mean, you do have a good idea of where the road is due to the sticks placed on each side, which they're all quite tall.
So that's the road. We just can't see it because we don't have a plow.
Yeah, at least 6 or 7 feet tall. Most of the doohickeys. The sticks. Yes, words. I know words.
Poles. Yes.
Yeah, the guiding poles to guide you towards doing good. And so it's possible to follow the road. Y'all haven't had much of a chance to have a conversation due to well, grumbly bears. But oh, howdy ho, tiny doggo. But you're finally out. The sun is actually shining. That is not doing a lot. It is at about -5 Celsius, but no wind. And with the weather you've had, it actually does feel almost warm in comparison.
We should be careful with our eyes in this weather.
Yes. If anyone has a scarf, I would wrap it around your eyes. The glare of the sun off the snow can be quite blinding. How
Yes.
are you with this weather, Mado?
As everybody else. Snow.
It's glorious, isn't it?
It's sure is pretty, but it's definitely hurting my eyes.
Ooh, y'all are judging him for being a cavern elf again. Zara is riding in the wagon with her hand over her face, looking through her eyes.
Marisol is squinting heavily and wondering what she could use to help that.
Albertine is riding on the horse, gives a solemn look towards the wagon. You can see she's dropping a short prayer. Then she looks like she steels herself and, well, I believe the village of Lixensant shouldn't be too far away according to the map. Hopefully we can have a hot meal and relax there for a bit.
That does sound lovely. If you would excuse me for a moment, I have a tiny dog here that desperately needs to do something.
How is the going, preacher?
Slow, but steady. I don't mind the sunlight and it's white. It's not bothering me. But there is one thing that we should consider. If this elf mischief maker has gone ahead of us, the likelihood of something happening in the next town is higher. So I wouldn't mind somebody going in ahead of us and looking around a little bit and seeing if we're on the wanted poster of some kind of bogus charge, so we don't just walk into angry pitchfork mob.
I can go ahead on scout.
I think it
Either
would be
you or
wise.
Marisol, you stand out the least.
Well, Marisol currently is napping in the wagon.
I
Yeah, it
will
looks
try.
like she's tired, so
Yes, we all have reason to be tired. Very well. I will ride out ahead as best I can and follow the road to the town. And Leo kicks his horse into a slightly faster pace.
Okay. It's very hard to get a fast pace on the horse currently because nobody's really well ridden over the area before you guys. So Leo gets about 60 feet in front of the party before the horse decides that it is not going to be the trailblazer through the snow.
Leo just pats the horse and says, I understand. It is very hard going. Well, so much for that idea. And he just waits there for Preacher to catch up.
Trudge, trudge, trudge.
I am afraid the snow is too deep for me to go far ahead. And I am forcing my poor horse to do something it does not want to do.
Well, we do know one thing by that. That means that whoever is going to try and ambush us is going to have the same difficulties.
Indeed. Nevertheless, I will stay with you and keep my eyes open for any trouble.
Mm.
Give me a perception roll, Mr. Leopold. Well, from what you're seeing, there's nothing really unnatural or threatening around. Seems like most of the wildlife in this area has decided to vacate the area you're in now, so hunting is going to be poor. You can probably attribute that to there being a pack of direwolves running around. Other than that, it's obvious that the area is fairly heavily traveled, and well, you'd be surprised if you're the only people arriving at Rixensant today, as well, they are, from what you can see, one of the more popular trading towns to be traveling through.
Speaks the preacher. I do not think we will be the only ones arriving today. There must be many people struggling through this weather. I will keep my eyes open nevertheless.
Sorry about that. I just needed a nap.
But now you're back. Which is good.
A nap while riding a horse, you're good.
What can I say? I've been doing that for years.
Okay. Yep. So, excuse me, I'm just getting on top of things here. It's been a very busy week, so I did not have the amount of time that I would have liked to prepare. Sorry about that, everybody, but such is life sometimes. Hard and cruel, or at least very hectic.
Eody will pull on Leopold's sleeve a little bit, trying to catch up to him. Leopold.
Eode, my friend. What is it?
Listen, I have something very important I must tell you.
Go ahead. I am most interested.
And he will hand him a vial full of a viscous red liquid. Eody will not admit he made a mistake. However, if your bear was to have burn wounds that needed to be healed, this liquid would probably help that.
I see. Well, we will certainly not let on that you made a mistake, will we? I will put this safe, and I am sure Cherek will get a burn at some point.
If it was to happen, Eody would make sure that it was, taken care of, yes?
Of course. Thank you, mein Freund.
Also, if you are having trouble traipsing through the snow, consider your large friend as a medium to get through it. Anyways, I will be back in the cart as it is nice and warm and I have many important deeds to be doing. That's an elixir of minor life, sir. Which is 1d6 HP and then 1+1 save versus disease and poison.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Excellent. You travel for about 6 hours. Give me another perception check, Mr. Leopold.
Of course.
Everything seems normal. I'm fine. Before you start hitting fields, now mostly snowed down. Although you can see scarecrows out in most of the fields. Houses get thicker and thicker, and by thick I mean like one every 500 yards. Going to maybe one every 300 yards as you head in on what seems to be Rixensand's city center, so to be, which mostly seems to be a small inn, a small temple to Geb, small blacksmith and stables. You can see a ruined building as well. It seems they had a watchtower at some point, but it's crumbled and decrepit right now. Albertine looks over at Marisol and like, Madame Marisol, would you mind stabling my horse for me while I go pray?
Of course. I'll take care of her.
My apologies. And she gives Marisol the sort of flashing grin you can only get from a girl at 16 and a half that's out on an adventure and sees somewhere warm after several days out in the snow. Before she enters the temple.
Albertine,
I'll go with Albertine and be a back guard.
Yeah, she stops at the door, looks at Leopold. Yeah. Yes, Captain Leopold.
You do me an honor I do not deserve. Mother will go with you, just to be certain.
My apologies. I will call you my lord then. I see that you must have noble birth from the way you treat your cooking and eating utensils. Only a true noble handles a knife in that way while eating, lying next to a bear. And she,
Please, I wish you would not. I just know how to handle a knife.
Whatever you say, my lord. And then she grins with a twinkle in her eye and kind of gives Mador a friendly shoulder, like, come on, hurry up, and walks into the temple.
I'll follow her.
I'm heading for the stables.
Leo pinches the bridge of his nose and says, what did I do to deserve this?
I don't know, Captain.
Lord.
The poor marshal can't handle such attention.
Come on, let's get the animals out of the cold, and then we can get some beer.
That sounds like a good idea, deputy.
Yeah, going into the to the stables, you're met by a very bubbly young halfling. He says, "Oh, hello! The first visitors after the snowfall. Did you have any trouble getting here?"
None that can't wait until we have a warm beer to tell. Will you help us with the stables?
Yeah, she seems to have an unintended Friedrichstadt dialect, because Shago can't do French accents except for hon baguette.
We shall apply the mental translation trick.
It's 1 copper for stabling per night.
Yeah, just take care of them and we'll pay.
And she kind of rubs her foot and looks down, and I don't like saying this, but it's another copper for fodder for horses and oxen as well.
Make sure they have what they need.
Right. Well, you'll have to do the math on your pack animals and subtract that money from your character sheets.
If somebody does the math, I will subtract it from party funds.
Yeah, because you guys are still not rich enough that you can just throw gold around narratively. Or copper, for that matter.
I'm mistaken. We have seven animals.
That sounds about right.
Plus a bear
sure.
and a wolf, and
Yes.
a vulture who can pretty much feed himself.
Call it 9 for extra care.
Yeah, that vulture is going to have to be careful, or it's going to get fat with the amount of fighting you've been doing. Edamir seems to have curled up around Zara's throat, looking kind of like an ermine scarf in its fox form, and it's snoring very heavily. It's very cute, little fox snoring.
I can also cover it. Yeah, we fixed that.
I have deducted the 36 copper from party funds.
Yeah, okay.
Zara's gonna look down at Edamir and whisper, "Hey, do you know where we can get Wolfsbane nearby?"
Maybe. And I'm talking
Well-
in my fox form.
Well, we're gonna need some. We got about 4 days to get our hands on it, less, or it's gonna be an issue.
What time of day is it, Chogi?
Right now, we're moving towards about 5 in the afternoon. You have about an hour of sunlight left.
And I hurry over to the blacksmith. I'm going to inquire about a couple of shovels.
Yeah, the blacksmith's he surprises you by being a dark-skinned fellow with glasses. Actually, a very expensive item you don't often see with the common folk. And his hair back in long dreadlocks and sort of a gathered in a ponytail. And like, oh, you are a fascinating creature.
Well, thank you for being fascinating yourself. I didn't expect to see a man of stature here. You must be learned, given those glasses.
Oh, this is common in where I'm from. If you have poor eyesight like me, well, then you go and you get glasses. But I understand how the peasantry of this poor oppressed country would think that's difficult. And he's brought out a measuring stick and has started measuring preacher's legs and arms.
What?
You are truly a wondrous creation. He's now behind creature, kind of rapping on his back and like, where is the key to wind up the clockwork mechanism?
There is no clockwork mechanism, sir. That's not how we work. I also make sure surreptitiously that I'm not losing any belongings.
Oh, Aller's frozen balls, another magical creature. And here I thought I'd finally found what I was looking for.
And what might that be?
Oh, my apologies, sir. I am Edmund Gone of the Ebon Coast.
Mm.
I was traveling past 2 winters ago when bandits attacked, killed most of my caravan. I ended up in this village here, and they needed somebody that could work hot metal. So I've been staying so far. It's meeting a lot of interesting people. But my true passion is clockwork.
It's a good skill to have, to fall back on, but as you say, clockwork is a step above what you do here. Interesting.
Well, sir, sadly, the people of Golden Glens have not found the joy of a proper democratic republic yet, like we have in the Ebon Coast, and as such, have not seized the means of production for themselves, giving everybody the wealth needed to follow their passions like clockwork or cheese making or underwater basket weaving.
Interesting indeed. In time, everything comes to pass, and different types of government will change and come about. I've seen it before, and I will see it again.
Really fascinating. Tell
The
me a
name
bit
is-
about yourself, and you will have 2 shovels for free, my friend.
The name is Preacher. That's at least the name I've chosen for myself now. I used to be someone else, but that's hardly relevant by now. My first time of activation was millennia ago. I only remember fragments from that time, unfortunately. It's been a long sleep. Basically, I skipped the entire third epoch, and I have very sparing memories of the time before that. They come in fractions and pieces, mostly battles and fortresses and guard watches, but sometimes a little bit more learnings. I remembered enough to actually piece together the skill of engineering. I used to be quite the maker, it seems.
Engineering, you say? I
Mhm.
would very much like, if you are staying overnight, to share a goblet of wine with you and discuss some of the finer points of engineering, especially if what you could know of clockwork.
Certainly. You do the drinking, I'll do the talking.
Ah, excellent. What fabulous news, my friend. It is good to see you.
The others will surely be very interested in your other areas of expertise, and I am sure they would like the distraction. Unfortunately, we lost a member of our group. They are probably very sad about it, so they will like hearing something new.
Oh, my condolences. This is a hard, brutal land, not like the warm, flower-smelling coast of the Ebon Coast, where there is peace and harmony.
On this
Nobody
note,
lacks for anything due
On
to
this
the
note.
democracy, you see.
would you happen to, if you have seen any elves recently about the place, like in the last 3 days?
It seems like he's about to hold his tongue, but he also looks like he's taking the opportunity to just keep you talking because you haven't stopped him taking measurements. So he's going about he's going at it. Like, yes, there was an elf past. What was it? She came during the blizzard. Friendly type. With the well, those poor fools that still believe in gods and religion haven't discovered the beauty of atheism yet. She was a follower of Apollo, she said, recruiting soldiers and mercenaries to take down and bring to justice a band of brigands. She
Indeed.
didn't find anybody here. The bailiff made it very clear that she was not welcome after the blizzard stopped.
And this was in the last 2 days?
She left, well, maybe 6 hours ago. Just headed straight into the forest.
Did she have a lot of people with her? How many did she?
Oh no, nobody from here. She was bailiff ousted her before she could recruit anybody, unless you're a registered mercenary working for. Well, violence for hire is not accepted unless you're a registered mercenary, and even then, mostly through guild contracts. You can't just pop into a village and start hiring people to go chase down brigands. If she'd been smart, she would have gone to the bailiff, but she seemed to avoid him.
If you wouldn't mind inviting the bailiff to our little drinking session, I would happily buy the man in question a drink.
Oh, absolutely. Excellent. I will happily do this.
Very well. Shall I meet you in the inn in about, I don't know, when do you close?
I will be in the inn in about 3 bells. I have coal in the forge, and I must work it while it's hot, or I will be losing copper to the gold coin.
Excellent. Do you wish to have some assistance? I can work the bellows.
Well, absolutely. Feel free. Stay here. Let's have a talk.
I'll assist him with that while the others get on.
Right, back to the rest of you.
I make sure the horses and cat and oxen are well stabled, have gotten people to look after them, gotten food and a good pat down and everything like that before I find the closest table with a beer.
Right, as you enter the inn, it's small for inn standards. Maybe say 40 by 40 feet, with just 4 tables and only one of them close to the fire, and a set of stairs leading to the second floor. Sitting by the one table by the fire, there's already one person.
I'm gonna bring 2 bears then and ask if the person minds if I join them.
Right. Before we go into that, has anybody else entered in yet? I know Mador's in the chapel, but what about the rest of you?
I will have walked in the inn as well, as I'm looking for a place to sit down and do a little bit of reading.
Leo would have been helping stable the animals, so he'd be behind Marisol.
Right.
Not I. Zara asked if I knew where to find wolfbanes, so I rolled nature and Lord Tundra.
All right. So you guys are out hunting for wolfbane. So it's Leopold, Marisol, and Eodi who entered in and get a couple of beers. The lady behind the bar, it's an elderly woman, probably in her late 50s, but still with a bright smile and a tight dress with curves that have obviously made her very popular many times among both young and elderly men. She gives you a bright smile as you enter and walk towards the bar, and like, "Oh, travelers! Fantastic! We haven't seen anybody for days. Please come in. First, the first drink is on the house."
Very
thank
kind.
you.
Very kind of you, Mom. Might we also inquire as to some rooms for, let me see, 8 people and a meal and a bath, if you have such a thing?
Ah, well, will be 1 silver per night for your people. I have a 10-man or woman or whatever else you are room on the second floor that's empty, and we can have a bathtub filled with hot water, but I'm gonna have to charge you 3 silver for that, and it'll take a couple of hours to heat enough water.
Sounds brilliant to me.
Yeah, sounds just fine, madam. Leo takes 1 gold out of his pouch and hands it over.
She bites it and puts it. You can see there's just a slot in the counter that she just puts it into. Excellent. Welcome. Dinner today will be stew with fresh baked bread. We have wine. We have spirits, both dwarven and elven. Some from the chosen of Creus. In addition to some of the famous Nozan's brandy, of course.
Do you have anything heated with some spices in it?
Oh yes, we can absolutely make that happen, young lady.
Thank you.
The mulled wine with the spices, yes. It will be a joy.
I would like a large beer and a small glass of the Krios spirit, please.
Ah, excellent choice, sir. And she hands over both a large beer and the Krios spirits. And what for you, young master? And she looks at Iodi.
Oh, Iodi would like this stew. That sounds fantastic. But I will consume water. I have much reading to do, many things I must do.
Ah, yes. We do have this newfangled thing from the Ebon Coast called tea. It is not like bitter like black bean brew served with a bit of honey in it. It is very it's a very pleasant drink. Would you like to try?
Oh, Iodi will try this. This sounds very nice.
Excellent. Well, I assume you're Marisol at least is heading over to the table. So if we could get a description from young Xian about what she looks like.
Yes, so on the table you see a young woman with red hair, and I mean really red, not the orange reddish you usually see. She wears a brown jacket and a beige top, dark boots. A cane leans on the table next to her. There is a bag on the floor next to her feet, and as she turns towards the bar to look at you, you can see a scar over her left eye, and the eye looks like grayish. Different to the right eye that is a bright green. And she's very slim, almost bony.
All right. So I believe it was Marisol who was heading over.
Hey, stranger, is there room for some more at your table?
She makes a hand gesture. Feel free to sit down. Is it safe to travel the roads again?
Well, if you don't mind the meters of snow, can I get you anything?
Well, if you are already offering, I wouldn't mind some beer.
I nod to the bar lady for one beer for our new friend.
Yeah, she grins and brings it over.
Hi, I'm Marisol, and my companions are over there. I'm sure they'll come over once they figure out that it's warmer over here.
It's nice to meet you. My name is Estrella. So what brings you here?
We are traveling, going to look for some bounties, but you can imagine that being hard in this weather.
Oh yeah, I can imagine. I'm looking for some people myself.
Anyone in particular?
Well, there seems to be a band of ruffians that are going around the villages.
Sounds like we have some common cause then.
Really? Oh, that's actually quite handy because I was hired to find them, but I'm not really good in direct confrontations, so I could find them, but probably not more.
When we all gather together, then we could probably take them on together. We are quite a few people now.
Well, if you don't mind me tagging along.
Well, I don't mind, but we'll have to talk to our fearless leader over there. And the rest of the people.
Fair enough.
But at least, cheers.
Cheers. Thank you very much for the beer.
Thank you for keeping a spot by the fire open.
Okay. Iodi, as he has learned new spells, his nose is planted firmly in the book, and he's just walking over with drink and stew in hand and just plops at the table. This place is very small and I do not like it.
It's how things are, and at least it's warm and does not smell like a giant bear.
What was wrong with the smell of the bear, Marisol?
I think my nose is sensitive in a different way than yours, like we talked about.
I mean, the bear was probably crunchy. We could have eaten him as well.
He was also very warm and very kind to let us stay, so I can't see why we would even pick a fight with him. Iodi, this is Estrella.
Oh, yes, the local riffraff. Hello, I am Iodi, eater of sheep.
It's nice to meet you, Mr. Iodi.
Oh, Mr. Iodi. Ho ho! She recognizes my greatness. I like this.
Hey, Leo, come over here. It's warmer.
I am coming. I am just speaking to the bar lady and asking for 7 more plates of stew.
Smart.
We all have to eat.
Oh, yes, dear. Should I just bring them out as your caravan comes in?
That would be very kind, dear lady. Do I owe you anything else for that?
That would be 7 coppers, sir, if there's 7 plates of stew.
Well, here we go. And he reaches into his pouch and hands over 7 copper.
Thank you.
Leo picks up his beer and spirit and wanders over.
Leo, this is Estrella. I think she's looking for people that might be the same people we're looking for.
Indeed. It is good to meet you, Madame Estrella. I am Leopold.
Nice to meet you, Mr. Leopold.
So, can you tell me anything about these people that you are looking for?
Well, I was hired to find a band of raiders that are robbing the villages around here. Do you know anything about that?
I am afraid not. We are passing from one place to another, and this village happened to be on the route. I could not say whether these are the same people we are looking for without a little more information. Where did you take the contract from?
A local lord named Montrose.
This name is unfamiliar to me, I think. Would Leo know anything about this lord through heraldry? Chuggy?
Leo's not really well familiar in Golden Glens yet. He could roll with a -5 penalty, but he would need to get a book of Golden Glens heraldry and actually read up to not get any penalties.
Understood.
Oh well, that's okay. If you're touring the villages, would you mind me tagging along and gathering some more information about it? Miss Marisol here said it would be a group decision, of course, but yeah.
Yeah, I cannot see why not. You have your own food for the trail, yes?
Well, not at the moment, but I wanted to get some from here before I leave.
Well, I am sure you will be able to negotiate that. I cannot see why you should not travel with us. There's safety in numbers, is there not?
Certainly, certainly. So what is this story about a bear? You were guests of a bear?
Oh, right. Yeah, we had the most interesting time going over here. So here we were riding the caravan, or whatever you can call a few horses and a and one wagon, but caravan. Um, and in front of us, we see two huge ice trolls. So, of course, we have to dispatch them because you can't let trolls roam around, right? And once we have, the storm is getting worse and worse and worse. So we have to seek refuge in a cavern. A huge honking cavern with a giant dire bear.
Oh
And
my.
thankfully, we have this crazy druid that would talk to it, and he was like, "Yeah, sure, you can stay here as long as you don't make too much noises." And so we did. So I actually spent the night cuddled up next to a huge bear.
Well, druids do have their use.
They absolutely do.
Still, staying next to a dire bear, that was brave.
Well, much it was much easier to stay next to it rather than,
He was
fight
very
it.
he was very hospitable. He asked only that we stay quiet. Mm, the- And he was very warm. And it was very cold outside.
So yeah, that was a first. So, have you been traveling for long, or?
A while, yes, but this task is rather new to me. I am not bad at tracking, I guess. Yeah, but as I said before, I can find people, but alone against group, my chances are rather slim.
We have our talents in that direction too. Perhaps we might be able to help each other. A question. Would you have happened to see an elven woman in the last couple of days?
GM?
You have not.
Not that I can remember, but I haven't really stepped a foot outside of this inn because of the storm.
I can understand that. If I didn't have to, I would never have been out in this anyway.
Indeed, I was simply curious. There is an elven woman that we are tracking, you see, and we would very much like to catch up with her.
I'm sorry that I cannot help you with that.
Oh, no worries.
We
Cheers.
will, we will find her eventually. She is quite dangerous. Prosit.
Cheers.
Skål.
Right, you've had about an hour to eat and relax when Mador and Albertine enter, and she looks over and like, "Oh, we found somebody to sit with. Come, Mador, let's go say hi."
If it's okay, I'll sit here.
Oh, don't be a grumpy pants. Come on, let's go greet this lady.
Albertine, Mother, there is a plate of stew and some fresh baked bread for you.
I'll grab the stew and the bread and sit down and eat quietly.
So, Albertine, were you devotions satisfactory?
Oh yes, absolutely. It's just a way shrine, so it's not. How do you say? There's nobody here full time, but it's well kept and nice. I enjoyed seeing it. It is good to see that the shrines of Geb are kept well, and we took the time to sweep the floor and dust off, all of the things.
It does good to look after your Lord's altar, yes. I wonder if your Lord Geb would mind if I said my own devotions at the altar.
Oh, I do not think so. Geb is very forgiving when it comes to that sort of thing. He's not a jealous god.
That is good. If you will excuse me, I will make my own way over to the chapel and have a few words with my lord.
All right. Takes another 30 minutes or so until Zara and Edamir return to the inn, carrying a lot of herbs, it seems.
You're gonna wanna play this without Quinn for a minute, because we have kid aggro right now.
Ah, yeah. These things, they happen.
I will go to the others, put the herbs on the table, and I will tell them about a cave that we also found that was inhabited by some sort of cultists. They're
Oh?
very stinky. Nothing really of value, but they seem to be worshipping some god. I think it was Hecate.
Oh. Well, what did you do with them?
Nothing.
This here is Estrella.
Nice to meet ya.
Hello, and I am just a tiny little fox talking.
Remember
Yeah.
I told you about the druid?
Yeah, you have an interesting group here.
Absolutely.
Fox 1, did you eat? Did you eat the cultists and not share with the Yodi?
We didn't actually see any cultists. It just looks like it had been inhabited by them. Bones strewn everywhere from humanoid children, adults. The usual.
I am disappointed.
And Marisol keeps buying drinks whenever anyone is empty, so she's starting to giggle a bit.
Let me know when the 3 bells are up. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it doesn't take more than another hour or so until Preacher enters together with a dark-skinned fellow with dreadlocks and glasses, clad in right now an embroidered blue jacket and yellow pants with blue boots.
Did we find the bailiff?
Oh yes, Bailiff Jove will. He always comes along and around quarter of a bell, and he looks over where Leopold has returned as well. Everybody's sitting with their bears, and some are still eating stew. Some have eaten. And, there's a couple of fresh buns with garlic and butter, and some some dried herbs being served as well.
Ooh.
Before that,
This-
however, we'll just go back to when Edamir and Sarah come back, in case Sarah has something she wants to say before we jump to the next scene.
Edamir, we need to leave very quickly.
Why?
Let's just say that the entity that resides within this cave, she wants to eat us. It is time to leave. Zara is pale, like as white as the snow right now, instead of her normal blue.
Well, then I guess we'll leave.
Right. Fast forwarding to when Edamir and Sarah enter the inn and are handed some heated mulled wine and a pot of stew. You see the rest of them sitting with a stranger over by the fire. Some strange one-eyed lady with an unnaturally red color of hair.
Zara's gonna look down at the stew. Is there any meat in it?
Sure looks like it. As with most peasant stews in Golden Glens, it's pork, mutton, squirrel, rat, or whatever else that they managed to lay their hands on within the last 24 hours.
So it's not children meat.
Well, it could be veal, but probably not. And you can see the new lady and Marisol and Albertine laughing at something.
Seriously? He did that?
Of course he did. What did you expect?
And the new lady is pouring more beer into Marisol and Albertine's cups from a mug on the table.
Zara's gonna pick up the bowl of stew and take it up to the waitress.
Yeah, it's an elderly, buxom lady with curves that most women a third her age would still be envious of. It gives you a bright smile as you come up. And hello, young lady. That's a very interesting skin color you have. Are you cold? Do you want something warm to drink?
Could I get something to eat with no meat in it, please?
Oh yes, absolutely. Give me just a moment. It's not a common request, but we do have the ingredients to make.
Any vegetables, fine. Fish, potatoes, anything like that.
Oh, you eat fish? Well, that makes my life much easier.
Fish aren't intelligent. They're definitely a vegetable.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. I mean, I only eat fish and other things close to water myself. You know, duck, sheep. I mean, they're basically duck. Anything that drinks water, really. And she gives Sarah a huge grin and goes back into the kitchen.
Already seeing or being paranoid and seeing Zara take her food away, I will elect to just eat some mice out of the bag. Our bag of folding that I stuff with mice
Okay, well,
when nobody's looking.
you're just munching on some mice. Nobody's looking, but everybody can hear kind of the crunch of small mice bones being ingested.
I stuff it with mice when nobody's looking.
All
I
right.
don't know it's in there.
No, but they can hear you're eating something crunchy that they don't have.
We're probably used to that by now.
Under a bench in the corner where a cat would hide.
Zara's gonna go sit down at the table where everyone's like chatting and laughing, and she's got this like really fake smile on, and she sits down and she's like, "We need to leave."
Okay. Why?
Call it a nasty hunch.
Well, then let's go out and see to the horses. I guess.
It's never wrong to trust your hunch.
Having a weird thought, I turn to Yodi and I'm like, Yodi, if the mice don't spoil in the bag when they're dead, then maybe we can put the body in the bag and it won't spoil and you don't have to cast general repose and we won't have to lug around a body.
I thought you did not like this whole business with the dead body. You leave this to Yodi.
Oh, you have a buddy with you? Is that a bounty of yours?
This one has all of its limbs attached. Do not worry, new friend. We cannot put the body in the greater bag of whatever it is, mice. It is not the same, trust Yodi. It would get very messy. And if we did not have the luck of the gods, maybe this body separates in the atmosphere. We have no idea. I do not like this.
As I'm standing there with the blacksmith of the town, listening to the discussion, trying to get a word and then introduce the guy, I was like, how do I explain this? Never mind, I'm not going to try.
He's standing next to Peter like, oh, what a fascinating bunch of people.
Friends, I'd like you to meet somebody that I found in the village who might have some interesting things to tell us about a certain elf. This is the blacksmith of the town, but not only that, he is a clockwork engineer, it seems.
Indeed. Welcome,
Clockwork?
sir.
What's clockwork?
I have no idea. Welcome, sir. Please help yourself to a beer and tell us about this elf.
Oh, yeah. She came here, during the blizzard, late, almost midnight. Most of the village were gathered for Larazon's birthday. So we were, somewhere in my forge drinking, and somewhere in the inn drinking, and somewhere in the neighboring building drinking. And he nods his head at the temple. And then this lady showed up out of the night. Like, we thought for sure that nobody was going to come. Most of us were planning to sleep in the buildings, and so we wouldn't have to try to walk to our houses, because here you pretty much can't miss between the forge and here. But yeah, I mean, she came out of the night, beautiful lady, one of Apollo's huntresses. I mean, she introduced herself. She showed the proper documents to the bailiff, and she was allowed to stay. But then she started trying to recruit people to go with her to chase down some brigands, like as if the peasants here were just some sort of common mercenaries that she would be allowed to hire. Like I told your interesting friend here, you can't work as a mercenary without a mercenary license. The lords don't allow it, or suddenly all of their footmen could be, gallivanting about somewhere else working as mercenaries. So she left this morning. Seems she and the bailiff had some sort of disagreement. And he ran her out of town. She seemed like she was going to try to fight him at one moment, but I mean, the bailiff was a man at arms for Lord Montrose for many, many years, from what I understand, decades even. So Once he took out his mace, she just wandered straight into the woods. As if, it wasn't the start of winter and she'd go cold and starve. Damn this thing, too, because I went out for a pipe, quarter of a bell after she left, and no tracks from where she'd gone.
Indeed. I would like to speak to the bailiff. Will he be in shortly?
Oh, yes, he always comes in for dinner around this time.
Zara, how quickly do we have to leave?
As long as we're not sleeping here, I'm okay with whenever.
Are we in a hurry?
Yes.
Apparently so. Zara says we must leave as soon as possible.
Very well.
Very important places to be.
Well, you're missing out on something if you have slept in a cave the last 2 days.
I will sleep literally anywhere that is not here.
Edmund, I will need those 2 shovels, I'm afraid.
Oh, yes, well, let's eat and then we go get the shovels.
Very well.
Yeah. Large man. Dressed in plate armor. Battered, well used. With the yellow, green, and red colors of the local lord. And a stylized boar walks in. He's tall. He's over 6 feet. Barrel-chested and walks with a slight stoop. Slightly hunched over. Unconsciously, if you're to make a guess. You can see in the belt he's got a well-worn, wicked-looking flanged mace. And as he sits down at a table that's obviously his, he places halberd and a shield up towards the wall as well. Zara notices that from the knee down, his left leg seems to be some sort of prosthetic with gears and springs and all sorts of things. Quite well hidden, but for somebody as used to looking at tiny little weird ass details as Zara, it pops out. He lets go of a deep sigh, kind of sinks into his chair and lights a pipe as the innkeeper, obviously flirting with him, brings over a huge beer mug about twice the size of the ones you have, and leans just a bit too much forward compared to what she would need to do when she places it down in front of him. Your blacksmith friend looks over at the preacher and like, well, there he is.
Yeah, excellent. Leopold, do you have our papers, the company papers, in case he asks?
I do.
Shall we go speak with the man?
I think we should. Good sir, blacksmith friend, please feel free to get yourself a plate of stew and another beer on us.
Oh, very kind of you, sir, he says. He still hasn't touched his beer. He's brought out a little notebook and some watercolors and seems to be struggling to get Sora's skin tone entirely right as he's trying to sketch her.
Zara is still white as a ghost.
You know what? I'm gonna go up to the room and just take that bath now, so in case we're not staying. If anyone wants to join. And then I'll just leave towards our room.
Leo goes with Preacher over to the bailiff. Good evening, sir. Would you mind if we sit with you?
No, quite the contrary. I like it when heavily armed and armored people come up and introduce themselves so I don't have to get up. Who would you be, sir?
My name is Leopold von Kriegstaufen. My companions and myself, we are mercenaries seeking a certain Lys van Horn, an elven woman. I believe you may have seen her in the last few days.
If you're mercenaries, you have papers, I assume.
We do. And he brings them out and shows them to him.
He takes a look, puts on a monocle to read. Oh, from the Lord and Lady of Ravensbridge, no less. Aren't you walking in exalted circles? Well, you have a description of this elf you're chasing.
Yes. I described what I saw on the cliffside.
Oh, I knew that one was up to no good. Yes, she came by here, left this morning. Straight into the woods, brazen as could be. Tried to hire villagers to go track down some brigands, which she described looking, well, a lot like you lot.
Yep.
I suspected as much. She is trying to waylay us for one of our companions. She is a recent emerged champion of Geb. It is our job to protect her.
Ah, yes. I noticed the knight over there. Well, this lady was no follower of Apollo, I'll tell you that much. She claimed to be, but when I tried to entreat her aid in finding out what's been eating people in these parts for, well, years and years going back, it seems. She wasn't willing to aid at all. Any true follower of Apollo would have lent us their hand. But no, she just left.
Indeed. If our information is correct, she is a renegade squire of Gilsing.
Well, squires go renegade every now and then. Seen my fair share of it. Hunted down one or two when I was younger, but now I work for the Lord as one of the bailiffs. Lord Montrose asked for help as the mayor of this town died only weeks ago, and when the new mayor arriving, appointed by Lord Montrose, started going through his papers, he found the records of some sort of deal made with the Lady of the Forest for bountiful land and protection from monsters. But going through the books in the Temple of Geb and seeing who's been buried and who's been born, seems a lot of children have been disappearing for the last 15 years.
Indeed. That sounds very suspicious indeed.
Sarah's gonna get up and walk over to their table and sit down.
I will follow.
Can I also hear the talking?
The whole inn can hear the conversation. Marisol can pick up bits and pieces in the bathtub upstairs.
Sarah's gonna lean in and whisper, "The thing eating your villagers and stealing your children's is a hag, and I am not staying here to find her."
Well, at least that gives me slightly more information than this so-called follower of Apollo did, although you seem to be just as yellow-bellied.
Oh, is that what was in the cave outside?
Without even a slightest doubt.
Did you say a hag?
I was about to ask you that, Mother. Was not Carl looking for a hag?
She's looking for a coven of hags.
Well, it may be connected, but we have Albertine to see to her destination first. Tell me, sir, could you direct me to where this elf left the village and headed into the forest? I would like to examine to see if there is any trail I can follow.
Well, I can point you in the right direction once light comes. For now, well, you seem like a merry band of whatever the hell you are.
A merry band of getting the fuck out of here. I've spent more than enough time with hags.
Do you know what kind of hag it is?
One that eats children?
They all eat children.
I mean, some can change their appearance to appear human.
They can all change their shape to appear human. They love to be
I can
older
do that.
women.
I mean, maybe if I get close enough, I can sense if they're changed or not.
The only hag she won't be is going to be a sea hag because there's no ocean.
Well,
My bet would be a
Albertine
green
stands up.
hag.
Huh? I'm not leaving this village to be plagued by child-eating hags.
I will stuff you in the bag of holding.
You can try, Zara, and you may even beat me, but you'll know you were in a fight afterwards.
Estrella is looking at Leopold, nudging him with the head like, I need to have a word with you.
Very well. Let us go a little aside and we can talk. Zara, come with us, please.
Right. Well, a little aside is about 10 feet, which is the furthest you can get in any direction and still be away from the table.
Okay, I am whispering as quiet as possible. I can't tell you how I know, but there seems to be an evil spellcaster in this inn, and it is getting stronger in the direction of the bar.
Really? That is most interesting. Zara, a little more about this hag, please. Leopold is also whispering as quietly as possible.
If I were a gambler, and I'm not, it could be any old lady in the town because that's how hags like to make a mockery of humans.
If you can create a disturbance, I could try to sneak into the kitchen and see if I can find anything.
If I get close to any, I might be able to sense if they're transformed or not, too. And who doesn't like a little fox going by their ankles?
We will stride back over to the table and speak to Iodi and Edemir. As for a distraction, Zara, can you think of something?
We should leave.
Why are you so afraid, Zara?
Do you know what hags do to things that they find useful?
It looks like they eat them. Or,
They-
useful? I don't know.
They keep them in cages. And then they collect the useful bits.
So Marisol just walks past and says, I'm gonna go get something in the barn. I'll be right back.
Should you really go alone?
Oh, she's already exited.
Zara, we are making this trip for the bounties, but also to protect Albertine. She is unwilling to leave. I do not see.
Then help me stuff her in the bag of holding and we can depart.
I'm also going to skitter away after her.
I am not about to assault a champion of Geb.
It's keeping her safe. Don't worry about it. Geb will be fine with it, I'm sure.
Mm, yes.
I've got his amulet around here somewhere. We'll pray for forgiveness when we're done. She's like patting her chest where she's got like every holy symbol just dangling.
Uh-huh. You will also have to convince Mador. I think he will defend her.
I'll stuff him in the bag of holding too.
Step who in the bag of holding? I'm coming down after my bath with my hair wet.
And on that note, we're going to take a 10-minute break so people can get coffee and do bio things, and we will be right back. Tolmar's just been misunderstanding. I'm not making orc sounds. I'm making Vario sounds. Anyway, back to it. So Marisol has just come down with wet hair and asked what all the hubbub is about.
Preacher steps up and runs out the door.
Apparently, there's like some hag around eating people. Zara's afraid. I don't know.
Also, there is 2 Marisols, apparently.
Last time I checked, I'm here, and I've just come from the bath. It was delightful, by the way.
You walked out this door like a minute ago.
Oh, wait, didn't I follow the Marisol that went out the door?
Yep.
Yeah,
Preacher
Preacher
just did.
just sprinted after. And as Preacher runs out, he sees a beautiful young Albertine in a very, very diaphanous shift of clothing. Doesn't look like she spotted him yet, but she's standing out there like, and shouting in Albertine's voice, like, "Oh, Mador, come help me! I am in ever so much peril. Oh, help! Oh, help me!"
Am I hearing this?
Yep,
Looking at Albadine across from me, correct?
yep,
I'm hearing this from outside.
yep. She's drawing her sword and, with a determined look, goes, "Oh no, that bitch didn't just."
I think she did, and I just willed my glaze into my hand.
I'm gonna pull my gun. Let's check this out, people.
Leo's got his bow in his hand and he's heading for the door.
Yeah,
Right.
grabbing my bag and cane.
The bailiff is getting up and like, "I don't know what the hell's going on, but I'm damn well gonna be a part of it."
The hag is impersonating our young champion here.
Well,
Zara pulls her hammer off her belt.
yeah. So you all exit. You see the hag and several other looming creatures in the background. She stands there, and as Albertine and everybody else comes out, and she sees Mador, she was like, "Well, so you're the new bailiff. Well, you haven't been paying your taxes. I've come to collect." And
Saying that to me?
she's saying that to Bruno, the bailiff. And she changes from a beautiful young Albertine dressed in way too scantily clad clothing and to something looking a lot like that.
Damn it.
I hate when I'm right.
Vino, so much for the pleasant innkeeper.
And behind her, you can see one of these creatures lumbering up towards you as well.
Oh,
Not to mention one of these fun little critters. And 2 ogres kind of hanging about like the smaller bullies on the playground. When somebody goes, "Give me your lunch money," the ogres would be the ones popping up beside going, "Yeah."
oh wow.
I currently do not see any markers on my map.
Click your token.
I do not see my token.
That's no, I can't have forgotten to place you out. That would be ridiculous.
I don't think that my dark vision is working.
Mine is, because I can see everybody.
I can also see like 2 tokens behind the hag, but looking at the stream, Tulmar can see more. Thank you.
You didn't have dark vision entered into your senses.
Oh, okay.
You only had low light. I gave you dark vision just now.
Could I also get Roran with me, please?
Roran, where you at, bruv? Roran, you can actually hear biting and scratching from inside the barn where he has been chilling with the horses. And the young halfling lady standing next to the door is like, he's really agitated. Should I let him out?
Oh yeah,
Yes.
let him out.
Answer bear.
You can hear like
Please.
from inside the barn. Disgruntled bear. She opens the door and lets him out. And yeah, the monsters seem like they are planning on eating everybody. And it is Marisol's turn.
Well then. I'm gonna start by shooting that hag in the face.
Copy that, copycat. That is a hit.
And then I reload. And I can't see I'm in the way for anyone, so I'm just gonna stay where I am.
Okay, got it. She screams out in anger as you shoot her in one of the fleshy bits. Like, you! I'll have your liver for that with a nice ale of some sort. And then it's Preacher's turn.
Damn. Okay, I'll advance. And just no, hang on. I'm gonna stay put, do my stance, and oh god, race out to battle. That's gonna hurt like hell. Nope. I'm going to run over to the hag.
She seems surprised.
I should be able to whack her once.
You are, I believe, entirely correct.
You can whack her
That is-
twice.
That is the 45-foot move from where Preacher was. But you remember, you can still flurry, even though you only have one attack left. No, yes, no, yes, yes,
Yep,
no.
flurry
Yep.
is a one action.
You can.
So flurry at the lowest.
No,
Nope,
still at
flurry
the highest. It's your
Oh
first
my
attack.
god.
Yeah, monks be powerful, yo.
Okay.
Map only progresses if you make attacks. Moving, entering a stance, none of that is an attack.
Well,
Well, on the first attack, he smacks her, and then on the second attack, I'm going to need a DC 15 acrobatics from you to not end up on your ass as you slip on the icy road.
god dang it.
Yo, yeah, Preacher just kind of does a martial law, like full spin kick, and lands on his feet looking cool. Because monks just work like that. But he doesn't manage to hit her. She's shouting like, "Come, my children, protect me!" So, this Etten is gonna lumber up. That's about 10. Yep. And it's gonna strike at Preacher twice with its flails. On the first attack, it actually disarms itself, kind of in its haste to attack. Both try to strike at the same time, entwining the flails hopelessly with each other. And the second attack is just going to be a fist, which hits and smacks Preacher for 13 bludgeoning damage. Okay, and then the other head on it is attacking. striking at Preacher, which he dodges, and striking at Preacher, and hitting for another 13 bludgeoning. Ledamir.
Hmm. Whoop. Going to move there. Have Roarin move up to the hag. Can I just move tokens? Thought that usually does a line and then you accept the move.
Yep, but Fancy Grounds has a tendency to be weird about that, so just be glad
Okay.
it's wonky in a way that doesn't cause us a lot of issues.
I'm going to command Roarin to attack.
Get it! And Roarin rolls a critical.
Nice, nice.
Yeah, she screams in pain. Roarin takes a good chunk out of her.
Yeah, that's just the regular without the crit.
Yeah,
I don't
just
know how to
hold
add
shift.
crit. Oh, shoot.
Hold shift and roll damage, and it'll auto crit for you. There we are. Oh yeah, that's a fair chunk of damage right there.
And yeah, that'll be it for me.
Yeah, she screams in pain. Ah! That hurts! Get this thing off me! And the cave troll comes lumbering up. And it's going to first try to bite Roarin, which I believe is a good hit. Bites Roarin for 13 piercing damage. And then hits him with a claw for 15 slashing damage. Taking us to Iodi.
Oh, yes, I like this. Iodi's been reading his book the entire time. He walks out and he looks and he closes his book and he goes, ha ha, oh, it is my time. I like this. And I will go to there. I'm going to assume that's approximately 25. And then I will drop a fireball in the middle of this group to hit only them and not my friends.
Yeah, that's why I was measuring.
I also sat here and measured if you'd like to see where I do it, but
No,
I
it's
can
fine.
definitely do the thing.
It's fine. I was already pre-measuring while you were talking because I saw this coming.
Yeah, so Iodi tucks his book onto his side again and he sort of swirls his hands down near the ground and cackling like a fool, he just raises his up into the air and yeets a giant fireball at all of the things over there.
Right. And what is the save on that? DC.
It's against my save, right?
Yep.
It is a 21.
Okay, dokily. Feel free to roll your damage, sir. Whew.
Kaboom!
Waka! Yeah, that's amazing. Okay. So both the ogres and the big ones, the troll and the Etten seem wise to Iodi's tricks by some small miracle. But the hag does not see it coming and screams as she goes up in flame from Iodi's fireball, which caught her completely by surprise and just immolates her.
Ha!
Well shot, Iodi.
The one of them with really good reflex saves and resistance to magic. That is hilarious. Well, Iori just sets her off like a candle at a football match. I believe they call them Roman candles. Like Albertine eyeing the hungry beasts. Looks over at Leopold and Bruno next to her and like, look at them. They're gonna go for easy meat. I'll defend the ones on the left. You defend the one on the right. And then she moves down in front of the blacksmith and takes up a defensive position with shield in one hand and bastard sword in the other. Which takes us to Leopold.
Leo will take a shot at the being with the flail. Can't remember what it was.
The Etten.
The Etten. Yep, Leo will hunt prey on her. And then it's off to the longbow. Oh, sorry.
Might want to roll to hit first.
Yeah.
That is a hit, sir.
Okay, well, you've got the damage, so.
Yep.
There we go.
Yeah.
Extra 6, 15 total.
I was about to say, don't you have another... Yeah, he places a an arrow, longbow arrow into an Etten boob, but they seem too compact for him to actually have reached anything important.
Okay, and last action is going to be to command Cherek to move up behind Roran.
Very well. And that takes us to Mador.
Well, the new thing I got, Shago. What's the range? I can't seem to find it anywhere.
The ability. Give me a short moment, and I will have a look here. 120 feet.
And is that a area effect or individual?
Up to 4 different.
4?
Yep, and none more than 10 feet apart. And as long as you keep it going, you can move them up to 60 feet per turn.
All right. All right. I'm just curious.
Yep. Ain't no thing but a chicken wing. Ooh, now I want chicken wings. With blue cheese dipping sauce. Right. What is Mother planning on doing?
Damn it. I'm gonna get within reach of this set and then glaive it.
See, yeah, that's roughly 10 feet. It's good enough. It seems to be, it's standing with both arms up and both heads grinning, just waiting to smack you as you have to close with it, and seeming somewhat surprised you have a long weapon, so it's not getting its attack of opportunity there.
Why I got just to where I can hit. 25?
25's a hit, sir.
12. My second attack.
Second attack, it hits it, but glances off the very thick skin of the Etten, not really doing any significant damage. But the first one, it's bleeding pretty well from. Edmund goes, "Preacher, do not die! I still have so many things I need to ask you. I haven't finished measuring your upper body." And then he's just sticking behind Albertine, because that seems safe. The innkeeper goes, ah! And runs down towards the door to the inn, standing behind Leopold, kind of holding him in the cloak, trying to hide under it. Which takes us to Estrella.
Yeah. How high is this rock that is beneath Mador and in front of Estrella?
About 4 feet.
So I could hide behind it if I duck. I'm going to move up to the rock and going into stealth.
Okay, give us a stealth roll. She's confident she's hidden. Nobody can see her.
You're kidding me, really?
Just be glad I let you roll your own stealth rolls instead of doing it for you, as I usually do on tabletop. Zara.
Zara would like to do a exploit vulnerability on the Etten.
Go for it, sir. That's Zara's can't remember anything about Ettins right now, except it smells horrible and it's really big and scary.
Excellent. She's going to yell, "Focus the Etten first," and then she's going to Ray of Frost.
Gotcha. And that is also a miss, I'm afraid. Hits the Etten, but gets it in one of its calluses and doesn't really seem to do anything to it. Right. Ogres. One of them is actually just going to charge towards Albertine, giving Mador an attack of opportunity. That's a critical.
May I make a statement real quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Because he crit the Etten, it interrupts his action, so he is now aware he was provoked the attack.
Oh yeah, he's aware. He just didn't think Mador was that dangerous. Yeah, Mador slashes that ogre up real good as it charges towards Albertine and does smack her with the ogre hook.
I was telling you that because it ends its movement standing next to Mador. It, like a critical hit from attack of opportunity, interrupts the movement.
It does. Well,
Yes.
Well then, that's the thing I wasn't aware of. Used to be you had to take a feat for that, called stand still, I think, or hold the line.
I mean, everyone also used to get attack of opportunity for free, so you know.
Yeah, well, it's not like we've been playing 2nd edition for years, and these are things I should know. So I'm gonna call it just edition confusion. Yeah, that's my story, and I'm sticking to it. In that case, it stops by Mador and swings its ogre hook at him instead. It real angry, but Mador, fighting somebody else with what's basically a pole arm, just masterfully blocks its attack. And it can't really do anything useful. The other one, uninterrupted, sprints up to the young halfling stable lady, pushes its hook into her stomach, and she screams as it lifts her up towards it and bites her head off. There's a spurt of blood. And the bailiff, pretty pissed off about it all, roars and charges that ogre with his halberd. Actions. Misses on his first attack. And on his second attack, as he swings the halberd furiously at the ogre. Which takes us all the way around to Marisol.
Yeah. So things are heating up. Let's see. I can definitely hit the Etten from where I'm standing, and I see no reason going up and go toe to toe with these big guys, as long as I don't have to. So I shoot and reload and shoot again.
Okay, first one's a hit. Second one's a miss.
For 7.
Yep. Please remember to remove your range markers once you're done with them. So I can't do that.
Done.
There we are. Shoots it in the shoulder. It seems pissed off, but far from dead. And that takes us to Mr. Preacher.
Right. Well, I bang my chest twice and starts glowing with my hands, basically summoning up some key force and going ham on this Etten, I hope.
Well,
Starting
you're
with flurry.
gonna have to move up to it first, sir, because that thing has reach and you don't.
Okay.
And there we are, and it does get an attack of opportunity when Preacher does that. So again, it's gonna swing its fist at him, hitting him again for 11 bludgeoning damage as he moves in to engage.
Do we want me to reroll my first attack?
No, sir, that's fine.
Right. Second attack then. This is also a +1 on the dice, by the way, so 22.
That is a critical and a hit.
So on the first one, we have a critical, which is this, plus 1d6. So 35 total. On the second one, plus 86. 14 additional.
Right. Mr. Preacher, sing me a song. And you still have one action left, sir.
Yes, I do. And that's going to be a fist. 20.
20. Just misses.
Dang it.
The Etten now real pissed off because it's on fire as well. I believe you set them on fire with your critical, if I'm not wrong.
No, not yet. I need to be a special version. Hang on a second. I'm actually using this as a heightened version. He gets more damaged.
Ah.
It's an additional 2d6, 1 for each attack.
Ah, there we are.
So an additional 2 on the first and an additional 3 on the second. But no, I have to have a special feat for doing the fire versions.
Okay, so it's not on fire. No, it's just really, really pissed off at Preacher. And it is going to swing its first, the left head first, swinging at Preacher, swinging a miss, and 1 hit. And the second one, swinging at Preacher, and actually manages to smack the ogre fighting Mador instead. In the back of the head, and that ogre was already severely wounded from Mador's strike, so in its wild abandon trying to hit Preacher as hard as possible, it caves in the back of the head of the ogre fighting Mador. But it does hit Preacher twice for a total of 29 bludgeoning. Taking us to Edamir.
All right, I will cast Heal Animal on Roran.
Ooh. Roran suddenly in much better shape.
And I will have him attack. Which is probably a miss.
That is a miss, sir.
So I will use command and have him attack again,
Gotcha.
which is also a miss.
Which is also a miss. That troll
And that's all for me.
is really pissed off at Roran. So, on its first attack, it goes in super hard, and you can see teeth just flying every which way as Roran dodges, and it takes a huge bite out of the rock behind Roran. Very clearly injuring itself severely. And then it's gonna go for him with the claws. That is a hit. And that is a crit. So Roran takes a total of 56 slashing damage.
Oh, well then, he is down.
So it just tears into Roran with the claws, roaring and sending teeth and spittle flying everywhere. You can see new teeth growing out of its mouth already. That takes us to Iodi. Oh, by the way, give me a perception check, Iodi.
I would love to.
Give me a perception check, please.
I said I would love to.
Yeah, Iodi notices that as the troll is savaging Roran, the parts where it got burned have already turned to ash and falling off, revealing new flesh underneath.
Yes. Okay, let's see. Well then, Iodi, looking that the doggo just got bitch slapped in one hit, basically, realizes that where he is not exactly what we would refer to as safe. And he will move to there. And then, whispering a few things into his hand, Iodi says, "The hag is dead, Zara. It is your time." And I will cast haste on Zara.
Oh! Shiny.
And that's my turn.
Yep. Let's see. Albertine roars, "For no sons!" and charges up to give the bailiff a hand. And that takes us to Leopold.
Albertine, I thought, oh, never mind. Leo's going to take another shot at the Etin after he commands Cherek to move it in on that troll.
Ah, that means Cherek is going to have the joy of an attack of opportunity.
Oh, joy.
The troll swipes at Cherek real hard, hits the same rock it bit, and ends up yeeting a huge piece of that rock into the back of the head of the other ogre warrior, fighting, severely injuring it.
Nice of him. Okay, Cherek's then going to make a jaw attack.
That's a hit.
Okay. Yep, bites him for 6.
All right.
And Leo is going to take another shot at the Etin. Using hunted shot. So, first one this. Second one this.
28 is a pretty clear hit.
Okay.
And that was for the Etin, was it?
Yep, that's for the Etin.
So Leopold takes a deep breath, shoots an arrow that goes whoosh, just as Modor is raising his glaive, so that the arrow splits down the middle, passing through the glaive with one half each going through one of the eyes of the Etin heads. And the Etin falls over dead.
Thank you, Mother. Excellent timing.
Speaking of, it's Mador's turn.
Ten feet away.
Yeah, let's put you there so you're not in the same square as Roran. Same movement. Oh, and that's a critical. Mador's got some pent-up irritation after Cal got killed. That much is obvious as he moves up and strikes the cave troll a mighty blow, chipping off pieces of rock and crystal, and you can see a spurt of whitish, blue-whitish blood. Think the color of those things Luke Skywalker milked to get something to drink on his island.
Mador, did you take polearm as your legendary weapon group?
Do I get that at 5th or 7th?
I thought that was
Fight
a
a
fifth.
fifth.
Yeah. Oh, yes. I am polearm legendary.
So you get your crit specialization, which is 5 feet of movement in a direction of your choice on the target of your crit.
I'm moving back. You're saying, or move?
You can move him in any direction you feel like. 5 feet force movement. The troll.
Okay.
Whatever you
Okay.
crit.
I'll keep the troll there.
Yeah.
Moving 5 feet may get closer to me.
So that's a good spot to be in. Still a brutal blow. The troll is very obviously wounded by that glaive.
And my second attack.
Wow, that's another critical. And that troll is hurting and very obviously now very angry at Mador after he comes in and just twice hits it straight in the ghibli bits.
Is knockdown
glaive.
a instantaneous or
Knockdown?
Are you talking about the feet?
yes? I have the feet knocked down.
Let me have a look.
You declare that you're going to do a knockdown.
Ah, yeah.
And
Okay.
it is a 2-action ability.
Okay. Thank you. I wasn't aware.
Yep. But you can do it. Yeah, you just have to say you use knockdown, just like with power attack. Everyone's kind of looking around like, wow, this is so exciting. I can't believe this is happening while I'm still here. Wait a minute, I have just the thing for you. And then he disappears into his workshop. You can hear him rummaging about, like, where did I put that grenade? Bridget drops another ear-shattering scream and runs into the inn. And it's Estrella's turn.
Yes, and Estrella, who just lost her target in front of her, is giving up her sneaking and runs towards the troll to get behind it.
Gotcha.
I am going to make an acrobatics to not get an attack of opportunity.
Go ahead.
And while she's doing that, she is drawing from her cane a hidden sword and is attacking the troll.
Go for it. Attacking while in the air. Ooh. She, in her enthusiasm, she actually yeets the sword part of the cane over to Preacher, landing at his feet, and then smacks the troll over the back of the head with the sheath, having very effectively disarmed herself. I see your dice are following you from the test session you had up here. You should probably change colors.
I already did.
You may have been cursed. You have picked up Tolmar's dice.
It's the hag. Definitely the hag.
We are resurrecting Cal tomorrow.
Right. Zara's turn.
Excellent. Feeling very fast, we're going to do an exploit vulnerability on the cave troll, cavern troll, whatever it is. Mr. Stone Boy.
On Stone Bro.
Fucking
Like all trolls, it should be weak to fire and acid. You're also pretty certain these are deathly allergic to cheese.
Hold on while I find my cheese arrow.
Anyways, I'll run up there.
Yeet. Nyom. Zara moving in for the kill with the cheese. Would you mind moving her? Curse, there we are. And smacks her skullbreaker into the thigh of the troll, but not managing to do anything useful with it. The second attack is a hit.
Try acid.
Try cheese. Got it.
Hit it with the cheese! Right. The ogre, having now gotten its meal, is still munching on the poor halfling lady as it starts running away. And it's going to provoke some attacks of opportunity doing that. Well then. It's one of those days. For everybody, NPCs included. And both Albertine and the bailiff swing at it, but this must be the slippiest ogre in the history of ogres. As it starts sprinting away with its prey. And that takes us around to Marisol.
Yeah, I'm gonna shoot at the troll. I need to reload first, of course.
That's a hit.
And I'm reloading.
Yeah, sparks fly off the troll as Marisol puts a round into it. And it's Preacher's turn.
Yep. There's a whole lot of people in the way.
As if that's ever stalked you.
Yeah. Actually, first I'm gonna pull out 2 vials of potions and drop a little bit of healing on myself. I heard that was a good idea.
Right. Do you have quick draw?
No.
Nope. So that's going to be 2 actions.
Yep. See now, that's. I think it is +5. So 15.
Yep. And the second one.
Just making calculations.
Making calculations so we can hear the fans inside Preacher start whirring as the ram's heating up.
Exactly.
Yep.
All right, I'm moving up in close contact with them, and since somebody just mentioned that you can use acrobatics, I'll do that to avoid the attack.
Do so, sir. Well, he doesn't even he never sees Preacher coming.
And
That takes us to Edamir.
I will use my other focus spell slot to heal Roran again.
Gotcha. Go ahead. Roran is up and running again, and he seems mad.
And I will have him attack.
That is a miss. He gnaws on it, but doesn't really get through the stony skin.
And attack again.
That is also a miss.
And that's it.
The troll, now having regrown its teeth and mad as all heck, is focusing entirely on Mador. Bites him. Let's check Mador's armor class.
Even 10 feet away from me?
Oh yeah, this thing's like 10 feet tall. It's got long arms. Claws him. And claws him again. So that's going to be a whole heck of a lot of damage. Let me do math here. My personal favorite thing to do. 45 damage total. As it bites and tears into Mador with the claws. And that takes us to Iodi.
Alright, well, Iodi, having heard this bit about tri-acid, is going to shuffle forward a bit to there. And then I will cast Acid Splash behind the troll. I can't do it without hitting Estrella and Cherik, so I'm going to roll against the troll, and then everything in that, those two are going to take 1 acid damage no matter what I do, so.
Gotcha.
So Iodi reaches into his pocket, and he kind of shakes his hand around a little bit, and then he just throws a blob of acid at him.
I can picture Iodi going like an old-timey bartender. And that is just about a miss. The troll sees the acid hurtling towards it and manages to dodge out of the way, duck its head.
All 3 of them take 1 splash damage of acid.
Oh, well.
So the bear, Estrella, and the troll all take 1 acid damage.
Yeah, you can see the troll roaring as the acid kind of splashes onto the wounds it already has, and they stop regenerating.
And that's my turn, sir.
Yeah. There is a thunderous voice
I've now managed to set a bear on fire twice, though.
roaring like, "No! You will
And
not
I hit our
get
new friend
away!"
with acid.
And then a huge golden battle axe drops onto the ogre that's running away,
Oh, good, I don't have to
and splitting it in half.
Bong.
And Albertine is looking kind of confused and trying to catch her breath, as if she just ran a long marathon.
Impressive.
Speaking of marathons, it's Leopold's turn, and he loves them.
He does. Okay, Cherik's going to attack the troll.
That's a miss.
And twice.
2 misses. My terrible dice seem to be falling over onto you guys.
Yep, the Cherik's not having a good day. Leo, on the other hand, is going to hunt prey on the troll. And then he's going to use Hunted Shot again.
Pew, pew, pew. Go for it, sir.
Ugh.
And the arrow just dings off of the troll.
Oh, please.
And then his bowstring breaks.
Pa-ting! And that is his turn while he fixes his bow.
Well, that takes us to the slightly battered but still very much alive and angry Mador.
I'm going to try knock back down.
Knockdown. Go for it. Well, those dice couldn't be on fire forever. The troll manages to block the blow. You have 1 more action. Blocks the second one as well. Edmund comes running out to Marisol carrying a bandolier, what type she's never seen before, with a handful of round items on them with fuses, and what she recognizes as at least 3 different powder horns. And starts fiddling and trying to just tie it onto Marisol. But he's so stressed, she's not certain whether he's helping or trying to cop a feel. Like, here, this will help you. I bartered for it a little while ago. Damn it, these clasps are so difficult. That's supposed to be so soft. Oh, I'm sorry, that's not the belt.
I'm gonna help him. Use my first turn of the next.
And speaking of helping, it's Estrella's turn.
Yeah, I am taking out my sickle and trying to attack that damn troll. $18.
You gotta be kidding me. Yeah, it sure looks like she's about to get it in the jugular, but at the last moment it turns and she gets it with the sickle in the forehead and does nothing.
Since that guy always regenerated, he's he's looking pretty healthy right now, right?
Actually, no. He took a massive beating from Mador, and Yodi hit him with acid before those wounds could close.
Okay, well, I'm just trying to attack again.
Oh man, I was certain I was going to be a 1. That's a
31
hit.
since we are pinching him.
That is a hit, and you get your sneak attack damage.
First the normal.
And then another 10. 14. Yeah, Estrella manages to get him pretty good in the hamstring there. With the sickle. Taking us to Zara.
Excellent. Zara is going to make a duplicate of herself on the other side of the troll.
Okay.
And then she's going to do an esoteric lore check again on the troll.
Oh yeah. Now she's starting to remember. This isn't a regular troll. This is a cave troll. Much bigger, much nastier. Usually found very, very deep, in very, very deep caves. Not commonly found above ground whatsoever. This one seems like a typical cave troll, about 14 feet tall and roughly 2,000 pounds, if she's to make a guess. These things have a horridly powerful regeneration that are deactivated by acid or sonic damage. And they are completely immune to bleed. Most interesting thing about them is that if they are exposed to direct sunlight, they turn into stone.
Acid and Sonic, that'll keep it from healing.
And then she
And then
whammos it twice. Double whammo. For a good solid 27 damage.
It doesn't have a natural weakness, right?
No, it does not.
That'll be an extra 10 damage then.
Ooh. Smacks it twice in the kneecap. And this thing is obviously not having a great day. It is in pain and angry and bleeding. And it is Marisol's turn.
Yeah, so I'm gonna help him snap on that thing and find out if any of these things are acid.
They're not marked. They are just clay spheres with fuses on them.
Oh. And I have no idea to know how big they are splashing and if I'm gonna hurt everybody else if I use them.
Well, at a guess, one of those would contain about as much gunpowder as a full powder horn. And this clay seems hardened, so
Do I know anything about how big a splash it will make or anything like that?
you at an educated guess, way bigger than you want to right now.
Okay, I'm gonna move closer in case there's an opening, and then I'm just gonna shoot this troll.
That's a critical.
That's
Yeah.
handy.
So Marisol just moves up, lines up a good shot, puts it straight into the mouth of the troll, and blows the back of its head out, and the troll falls over dead.
We should probably pour some acid on that just to be safe, right?
Not a bad idea. And she walks over to pick up her cane.
Iodi can make sure it becomes a bigger puddle than it already is.
Beautiful. Thank you.
I would settle for shards of rock. That would do nicely.
Yeah, huffing and puffing, the bailiff comes up to you guys like, oh, damn. And in the middle of the road, too. Gosh, gab dang it. He looks at the huge pile of rock in the middle of the road. Well, at least it's dead. Give me until morning. I'll tally up the bounties for you. Trolls and hags, they have active bounties on them, whether they're known to be in the area or not.
Thank you, sir. We will help with the remains as we can. See, Zara? I told you.
Zara's vomiting over in a corner.
Ah. Delicate stomach.
If you'll excuse me. And then he starts walking up to collect the body of poor
Halfling.
Flora. And he stands there kind of scratching his head, looking at the ogre that's just been like cleaved so cleanly in two. It's would have been impossible to do with anything less than a vorpal weapon.
Ah, poor Flora. I liked her.
May she rest.
Y'all knew her?
She took our horses. She took good care of them.
She was very nice indeed. I saw her in the tavern for the last 2 days.
Having her head bit off by an ogre. What a
At
terrible
least it was
spectacle.
quick. I could think of a lot worse ways to go.
Can you imagine the ogre's breath before it bit her head off? Ew.
At least she's through the gates now.
Aberdeen?
Albertine standing. You can't see her face through the helmet. You can see she's breathing heavily, and she's put her sword into the sheath before she slams her fist into the wall of the stables, and as well. If I couldn't save her, I'll at least do her work until morning. I'll go take care of the horses. And she storms off into the barn.
I'm following her.
Since Acid Splash is a cantrip, Iodi's just going from rock to rock and just melting them down to get rid of troll pieces.
Preacher heads over to the forge, inquires about the biggest sledgehammer he has for breaking stone, and comes back and assists with breaking the stone and removing meat from the road.
No, he's standing next to Marisol and like, oh, let me look at these. What wondrous examples of Ebon Coast technology.
Yeah, here. Take a look.
A woman of culture and fine taste, I see. Please, let me have a look at that rifle overnight. You saved my life. The least I can do is give you something in return.
Sure. Thank you.
You are lucky, as far as I know, at least in this part of Golden Glens, I am the only gunsmith.
Could you make me more bullets?
Could I make more bullets, she says. A 5-year-old could make more bullets. I will be making more bullets.
Thank you. You're my hero right now.
He's laughing as he walks into his home and smithy and like, Lucy, put on the black bean brew.
At least I get more bullets.
Yeah, there is that.
And I need to find out what these do. I'm holding up one of the bombs.
Be careful if you throw one of them to find out. Please be further away.
And don't drop it.
I'm not planning to.
Right. As Mado tries to follow Albertine into the barn, he can see her looking at the horses, and she's holding on to the hayloft and doing hang-ups in full armor. And without looking at him, she goes, Mado, please, I just need some time to think. If you could wait outside for at least a bell, or at the inn, or just let me gather my thoughts for a moment.
I'll be right outside. If you need me, give me a yell.
Zara, once she's done puking, wipes her mouth off and starts rummaging through the corpses.
Right. Yeah, the hag was more or less immolated instantly. There's mostly just a pile of ash and a pair of very dirty sandals left where she stood. Neither the Etten has 2 large-sized flails. You would probably sell them for scrap. The trolls got nothing. And on the ogres, you find a total of 27 copper, a beard comb, and one very small tiger's eye gem that one of them was using as a belly ring.
Wouldn't that be a very large tiger's eye gem then?
It's been tied onto a cord that the ogres kind of just pushed through its own flesh.
That's also a way of doing it.
Yeah. Telling anybody where you found it will probably drop the resale value.
Give it a quick polish. Nobody'll know.
Yeah. Remember to take the string off, though.
As the rest of you, I assume, enter the inn, because it is damn cold.
Yeah, I'm on my way over there.
Leo's going to wander over to Cherek and then towards the barn.
Yeah, he sees Matador standing guard outside.
Albertine needs some time.
She needs some time. I'll stay here.
Very well. I do not think Cherek will be welcome in the inn, but I will find out. Please let us know when she decides to come out.
I will.
Try and keep warm, my friend. And Leo wanders over to the inn to find out if Cherek can take shelter in there for a little while.
Yeah. As he enters, Brigitte is behind the bar, having thrown down a shot of something very strong, making even her cough. And she goes, "Oh, my savior! Oh, you are so beautiful. I should never have forced you to stay in the barn." And then she comes running over and puts her arms around Cherek and starts rubbing his belly when he rolls over.
Hmm?
She's like, "Oh, do you want a ham? Huh? Do you want a ham? Let's go to the kitchen and find you a snack." And she and Cherek disappears behind the kitchen. She just looks over her shoulder at the rest of you like, "Drink whatever you like. You saved our village.
Well,
Drinks around the house."
I'm not sure if that is considered that she is completely fine, but at least she seems to be okay.
He is a very nice bear. I have known him for some months.
And then she sticks her head out. "And oh, that purple bottle that I just took a shot of, keep it at least 5 feet away from open flame."
I'll remember. So, beers, anyone? I start just dishing out the mugs.
I will have some more of the Krios spirit, as well as a beer.
I slide over the bottle.
Thank you.
I help Marisol just to get a chance to get behind the bar.
If you want to take over, please do, but I just want beer.
No, it's fine. I'm just gonna help you for a moment, and then we can sit by the fire.
Brilliant.
While everybody is scrambling for drinks and things, Iodi stands next to Marisol and gives her a little nudge.
I look down at Iodi.
"I would like one of these things hanging from your new t-shirt, Marisol, for reasons."
Of course. Which one?
"I will take one of these," and I will just grab one of them and walk off and start.
I trust Iodi, so feel free.
Be careful with that, Iodi.
By the way, Arwina, somebody heard the magic words, "Do you want a snack?" So you're going to have to bribe Tiny Dog.
Kind of dog be like, yes, I would like a snack.
Yeah, because she's
How
right.
kind of you to offer.
Just hand me one, because she's expecting it from me.
All the snacks!
I just realized that Chogi's and Arena's bookshelf is the same one.
Yes.
Yes, yes it is.
What's weird is I don't know where the light in the corner is coming from.
If you look really carefully, you can see the top ring of a light stand behind Shago.
Actually, the top and bottom.
Yep, that's my stream light that Arwina's absconded with.
So that's the one that I have in my end of the room, actually.
Which is why she looks natural on stream, and I look like I have paper white skin.
You
Anyway.
do have paper white skin, my love. You are from North.
Yes, we are Northerners. We will come to eat your babies. Brigitte comes out after a while. Cherek's got the biggest ham you've seen in a while. And he takes over to a corner and shares with Roran. But she takes out a satchel and hands a wooden bowl over to Zara. Zara's in the bath. Hands it over to Edamir. Like, "Here, this is a small present from me for saving our lives in our village. I got it from a traveling merchant who couldn't pay his bills."
Thank you.
Put a drop of water in it.
I will put a drop of water in it.
And suddenly it's full to the brim with piping hot split pea soup.
That is amazing.
That is really handy.
And I will take a mouse and put a mouse in the split pea soup.
Ah. Well, I worked in a tavern far too long to judge anybody for their dietary choices.
Well, good for you. I think you have made a friend with my bear. Hmm.
Right. After about an hour, probably less, yeah, the barn door opens, and Albertine, now shining with sweat and breathing heavily, and like, come in.
I will enter.
Sits down heavily next to Mador and offers a bottle to him. Greenish in color and smelling of something herbal and strong.
I'll take a hit of it.
Oh, it's surprisingly well tasting, with a complex, smooth flavor. It is also hellishly strong. You don't know what the alcoholic value of that is, but if you were to ask a bartender, the answer would be yes. She looks down into the floor and like, I can't believe it. I think this is the smoothest fight I've ever seen the Night Thorns have. And still, we couldn't save her. I need to be faster, stronger. We did everything right. Damn it, and she still died.
I've been in a few fights myself, and unfortunately, it's always unpredictable.
She gives Mador a
That troll nearly got me out, so yeah, I'm a little sore.
oh, my apologies. And then she places her hands on Mador and prays, and his wounds close.
What happened out there? What was that battle axe?
I don't know. I saw the troll was getting, or the ogre was getting away with her body, and I just got so angry, and I prayed to Geb that help me stop the ogre, and, well, I can't remember much until it must have only have been seconds, but suddenly the ogre was dead, and you all were finishing off that troll, whatever it was.
This your power now as just learning. I hate to see when you're at full strength. You're going to be one heck of a champion, Gab.
I hope so. I have to get stronger. I can't accept us losing anybody, even though when we do everything right. Did you see how that one-eyed lady distracted the troll by, fooling it by throwing her sword away and then bonking it in the back of the head with the sheath? I bet it never saw that coming.
I don't know. I was busy fighting the Etten and the troll. I didn't see what move she did. It happens in the heat of battle.
Well, for now, I will stay here tonight and do her work as penance for failing to save her.
I will stay here as your guide.
Well, in that case, let's grab some pitchforks and feed these horses.
Yes, ma'am.
There we are. So they're doing barn work. Preacher's doing Tai Chi. And the rest of you are eating, bathing, or going to sleep. That seems like the natural place to end today's session. Let's see. In 1 week, I cannot promise that we'll be on. I don't know what kind of Christmas plans everybody has.
No, I'm
And-
definitely not going to be here. We're having Christmas at my in-law. So
In
I will-
that case, we will know that next Sunday we are not playing due to it being Christmas Day over in the US. And
and
probably most of us spending time with family.
and New Year's we'll be having our New Year's dinner here. So the next 2 Sundays I will probably
Oh yeah,
I won't be able to be on. I won't be able to.
that is actually New Year's.
Unless something comes up, and I will let you know.
But that means that we will take 2 weeks off as a Christmas break before returning in January. So everybody, stay safe, stay healthy, and be well. Have a fantastic time. We will see you all in the new year. Until then, I hope everybody takes care of each other and have a great time. Be excellent to one another, and we will let Mr. Tolmar find somebody to raid.
We'll go hit up Route 66. They got Finale in their title, and it looks like they're doing a bit of a fight, so we can pop in there and cheer them on, see what's going on.
Excellent.
Y'all have a great New Year, though. See you guys soon.
Yeah. Live
Bye,
long and
everyone.
prosperously.
Bye.
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 2023.